Awesome. Well, welcome to another episode of A Podcast. Your host, Stephen Maxted. And today we have a special guest, Junel Malapad, avid runner, and much more. We were just catching up before here, and thank you so much for making time today. So to make a joke about your start of the day here, about your running probably more than most of us do in a month. But yeah, I'm excited to hear about your story. And let's get into chatting about running. So why don't you tell the listener a little bit about your story? And yeah, let's start with that.
Sure. Yeah. Hi, my name is Junel Malapad. I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I started running about 16 years ago, about 2008. Um, Not really, just more for health wise. My family, my mom and dad have had issues with their heart and cancer and things like that. So I wanted to change my diet and have a better lifestyle and live longer for my two daughters and enjoy life. So yeah, it started running in 2008 because of that reason. High
Awesome.
cholesterol runs in my family, and my doctor, my doctor was my mom and dad's doctor. So he sat me down and said, Julie, your trajectory of your health is you got to do something about this. So that's why I started running. And at first I didn't really like running. It was just something that it's like taking a bitter pill. The doctor said you got to do something for your health. So I started running, and I met some great people along the way. One of the people that I met is my coworker. I used to work for Winnipeg School Division #1 as a head caretaker. Thankfully, I'm really I retired. I retired from Winnipeg School Division #1 about 2 years ago. And so one of my friends, he got me into running. I call him coach. His name is Virgilio Galvez, and him and I used to run on our breaks and just like whip around the hallway sometimes and try and get a couple of kilometers in. But at the time it was super hard. But fast forward to today, I have done some crazy distances, some things that I looking back, I just just dumbfounded at how much running I've done. So it's a fun fact about me. I ran across the province of Manitoba 2 years ago. So that's 490 kilometers from the Ontario border to the Saskatchewan border, and I raised
Wow.
money and awareness for 7 different mental health organizations. So it's 7 days.
Wow.
70 kilometers a day. Uh, uh, so I devoted 70 kilometers for 7 different mental health organizations, and that's what kept me motivated. And so a lot of the things that I do is inspired or the reason why. A lot of people have a reason why to run. So a lot of
Yeah.
things that I run a lot of mileage for different organizations. Like there's one thing that I do for the past 10 years. I was running up and down Garbage Hill at the end of June. So that event was called Trash Stigma, and I raised money and awareness for Canadian Mental Health Association under these programs. Um, so fun fact about that, I ran 100 miles up and down Garbage Hill one time. It was 30 hours.
Really?
Yeah, to raise money and awareness for youth programs. Um, for
Wow.
the last 2 years, though, it changed the name to Mindful Movement. Um, this past summer was the last time that I'm going to do that. But going forward, I have some other crazy plans that I might
Cool.
share later. Another thing that I have done is on Boxing Day, I've been trying to change Boxing Day to Running Day. So Stephen, if you after this conversation, I just need you to do me a favor, go home and scratch off Boxing Day and write in Running Day. And so what happens on that day is I run also. So one time I ran 150 miles around the Forks, 241 kilometers around a loop or from the Forks to over the Esplanade Bridge and Taché and back to the Forks. It was 73 times. 73 times was 56 hours of running. So it was, Boxing Day, December 26th is pretty cold in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But the reason why I did that, just like I said, I had a lot of running I do it for a reason. I raise money and awareness for Silo Mission. So every year I do that. The good people there at Inn at the Forks would give me a room to use as a aid station, and my friends, I would just invite them to come out to do whatever they want with me to do some laps. And my good friends at Access Storage would supply a big truck that people could drop off some important special needs that fellow mission could use, like clothes or cough
Yeah.
syrup or shoes, warm blankets, anything that they require. So this is maybe from here you could get kind of a little bit of the reasoning why I run so much. It's a great passion of mine, and I'm very happy that the community is able to or put up with me to run a few kilometers here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 54 years old. When I turned 50, I ran 50 kilometers 50 times in the year 2020. So which means, there's 52 weeks in a year. So I basically ran 50 kilometers every Saturday. So the year 2020 was COVID time. So it was great from January to May, but then my running just kind of got screwed up, the mojo, because at that time I was running with a friend of mine. We would start at like 2:30 in the morning at the Forks to try to knock off this 50 kilometers. So by the time I got to 40 kilometers, I was able to run with a group called Winnipeg Run Club, the last 10 kilometers. And that really, helped me stay motivated and get the last 10 kilometers in. But when COVID came in, and it reared its ugly head and shut down the Forks and screwed up for my mojo, I had to pivot, and I was riding by myself for May to June, July, which was a great lesson for me. Running with people was very motivating, but I learned that I could count on myself to get the job done. I was able to run a lot of those kilometers at the lake, which was really nice, but also hard because that summer was very hot and humid.
It was.
So yeah,
Yes.
so every Saturday I'd get ready to do these 50K, and so it's 12 months. Again, to keep me motivated, those 12 months, each month I raised money and awareness for a different organization to highlight. So it was a great year. But there was 2 times, like I said, 2 events one in the summer, the trash stigma in June. I ran 100 kilometers that year for that event, and then running day, changed Boxing Day to running day. I ran 100 kilometers, so that allowed me to take a couple rest weekends. Yeah, my running journey has been quite amazing. I'm really happy that, like I said, I made some really wonderful friends in the past. Some wonderful friends I made were through Lululemon. I was a Lululemon ambassador for 5 years, and my picture was on the wall there.
Cool.
I learned a lot from those friends there, and they supported a lot of the things that I've done in the past. If anybody's interested in my journey, there's a documentary. There's actually 2 great documentaries. One made by Copilot. It's 5 minutes. You can find it on YouTube. It's called A Big Run Lululemon. So you can find it there, or find it on my Instagram page. I have it pinned on the top. And then there's another documentary. It's called Running for Your Life, and that can be found on CBC Gem. It's 45 minutes. My good friend Libby Lea, she was the director for that documentary, and I've known her for many years. She did a phenomenal job doing an authentic portrayal on my life, basically, and the reason why I run so much. So she actually won a director's award for that documentary. So I highly recommend you watching that. Yeah, I've been chatting all along here. Is there any questions that
Oh no, this
Stephen
is
you'd like
wonderful.
to share, like to
No,
ask me?
this is great. I mean, like it's impressive to hear all like the efforts towards raising funds and what that's probably done for the community that you're trying to raise those monies for. Um, within that sounds amazing. What what's coming up for this season and moving besides changing Boxing Day to Running Day, which I've written down here. And I hope I can come and help out a little bit with that. I think that's humorous and great, especially if it's attached to their cause. I like the energy around that a lot. So that's wonderful. But what else do you have coming up for like future goals, which seems like a crazy thing for me to ask considering you ran across the province and had 7 days of fundraising attached to that? But what is the future hold for you as you're looking ahead? I'm sure it's not slowing down, no pun intended.
Um, it's the journey of running is really a lot of highs and lows. There's some people I have many friends who run every day. They're run streakers like 4 or 5 years straight. It's just amazing
Yeah.
how consistent they are. But I was looking at my Strava the other day, actually this morning, and there's a lot of peaks and valleys there. That like today, this morning, there's one peak I ran. I felt good, so I ran 40 kilometers this morning, and I just like the reason why is because I feel much better about the way I am or who I. So I'm on this podcast. I'm hoping that I'm giving you some extra run high energy at the moment. So anyway, so going forward, there's a fun run that I'm doing with my wife. Actually, it's a WFPS 10K.
Nice.
Yeah, that's coming in October.
Yep.
But before that, there's a race. Well, it's a endurance event. It's called the Beaudry Fall Classic. Have you heard
Okay.
about that event, the Beaudry Fall Classic?
Yes. What are the details?
It,
It's like an overnight or something. It's a long
yeah,
period of
yeah.
time.
So the Beaudry Fall Classic is in Beaudry Provincial Park, which is not too. It's in Headingley here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So that you could choose 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, or 48. And so you choose that length of time and you run as far as you can at that length of time. I've done that event, I think, 3 years, and I was able to get the 150-mile belt buckle one year, and prior to that, the 100-mile belt buckle. Um, yeah, 150 miles or 241 kilometers is no joke. It's a great event for people who want to dip their toe in ultra marathon running because the Beaudry Fall Classic is in the Beaudry Provincial Park and the loop is like 5 kilometers and there's an aid station. It's very safe and how it works is if you do the 48-hour or the 24-hour event, you could bring a tent and sleep whenever you need to. You could bring a
Cool.
barbecue and cook all the foods you need or even some people actually live nearby, so they just told the race director they're gonna go take a nap at home and come back. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was one year before there was a 48-hour event. That event used to be called the Lemming Loop, and I remember I think it was 2016. I ran 24 hours before the 24-hour event because I wanted to run 150 miles, but the wheels fell off at like 130 miles. But so I've been running since 2008, about 16 years.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of training and I've gotten a little bit better at this this crazy thing that I do. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what's going on. October 3, 4, 5, I think it's the Beaudry Fall Classic, and then after that is I'll be running Junior Boxing Running Day.
Yeah.
After that, next year there's something that's like rattling around that I've shared with a few people. Maybe I'll share it here.
We would love that, but no pressure if it's not
Yeah, yeah,
right.
it's more of an idea right now, but I've been sharing it around. So when I ran across the province of Manitoba, that's 490 kilometers, and
Yeah.
And I wanted to. I was thinking, I want to do that again, but
Okay.
not run on the highway,
Yeah.
because running on the highway, there's some challenges, and also like the terrain, the road is angled in a certain way that you get a Achilles injury, and it's very
Right.
dusty, and it's sleep in a
Yeah.
motorhome, and there's some fun challenges there. So thankfully, though, when I did that, I had some great support. Actually, one of my friends, Jin Lee, he actually ran lockstep every single step that with me. He was kind of my shadow or my buddy the whole time. And I had a friend
Awesome.
who was a chiropractor who drove the motorhome, and he supported with making sure that I'm good for the next day. And he made the meals. And he drove the motorhome, and I had two other buddies that supported with their their vans. So they're a bunch of ultra marathons. It was a great experience. So
Awesome.
I'm not alluding. I'm not telling you yet what I'm going to do, but
Cool.
okay. So I just go into it. So it's 490 kilometers,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make it even 500 kilometers.
Yeah.
So next year, I have an idea to run 500 kilometers in 7 days on Garbage Hill for men's mental health. So June is Men's Mental Health Month,
Okay.
and it's something that is very important. It's a lot of, even men's mental health is connected to every mental health. So I mean, it doesn't really matter if I'm running for men's mental health. Everybody is connected one way or another. But anyways, 7 days on Garbage Hill, 71.5 kilometers a day. Um, so I'm thinking of starting on Father's Day, and going 7 days. And then the beauty of that is I get to go home and sleep in my own bed, and
Yeah.
do that. So along with that, just like when I ran across the province of Manitoba, I'll highlight 7 different mental health organizations, and because it's really important what the work that they do. A lot of men feel that they could like go do whatever life alone, just but the reality is life's not easy. Guys need to just drop the stigma, and do what they need to do to support their friends and family and themselves, and that's where it starts, in the person, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's actually is the first time I've shared it on such a big platform. So Stephen,
Awesome.
you heard it first.
I did. I'm excited to share this. No, that's awesome. And you know what? I love even you're building up of energy there around it, because it's like things start as ideas, and you sharing them. I see it as big positive. Other people, have other opinions on sharing ideas before it's come real. For me, it's kind of like when I've said something out loud, it's more like now I got to go do it because I've said it energy. And I feel like you may be very well the same with that in terms of saying goals out loud. It's like, okay, now I've said it to some people. I got to prove them correct on what I've on what I've said. So I'm excited to see where that goes for next June. And I mean, that 71.5 km a day for 7 days, that's quite the feat. But I feel if anyone's able to do it, it's definitely yourself. And are people able to join on that adventure? What are you thinking for that on these days here?
Yeah, so previous years, like I said, I've been running up and down there, Garbage Hill, for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And so how it works is I would get a permit and set up a tent and get some sponsors to help out with food and water in the tent and the porta potty, and people just show up and
Right.
do whatever they want to do with it. And then so the way that, but how I feel is like a ripple effect. People would share what's going on, and over the years, I raised maybe $100,000 for Canadian Mental Health Associations or youth programs. The reason why I started Trash Stigma is I have two daughters, and one of them, when she was younger, there was tragedy that happened in her school. Two students died by suicide. Um, and as a parent, I didn't know how to, like, if my daughter was so sad at that moment, I didn't know what to do. So that's the reason why I started running to help
Yeah.
out mental health for youth. So now, I'm very happy that my daughters they uh, they do their own. They're adults now, so
Right.
they go to their own therapy. They've everything seems good. So just a little bit of that ripple effect, sharing and finding, shining light on places where you can get some help is very important, because a lot of people these days
Yeah.
are finding it hard. Even just to get these programs. So there's a long wait for to get into these programs, because there's not enough workers to help out, and it's very frustrating if you're having a mental health issue, and you need help. It's not as easy as going to the doctor or the emergency room and then putting a band-aid on it and getting a prescription and then walking home and everything's great. It's so going forward, I love to just to help out that way with my running.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that part of the story too. I know, yeah, lost some people close to our family over the years as well too. Obviously, like, yeah, suicide, mental health, and it's definitely a tough thing to go through. That's really neat that you've turned that into a powerful event with the hopes of having it. I think it obviously has had a positive ripple effect in the community. So that's fantastic to hear. And I think that you're definitely right. There's not sometimes not enough acceptance, yeah, around that topic. And even though sometimes it's something that is mentioned, sometimes it doesn't hit home. But the continuation of discussing it, I think, is really important, because for that one time it does hit home with someone, or they need help, or want to reach out to someone. Some of the companies that we work with my marketing company outside the podcast world, they spend time promoting little stickers and washrooms and different things to reach out to the now phone number is at 988, I believe, is on those stickers. And it's been neat to work with companies that are also advocating for that in different ways, because every community needs help, whether that be in running or other groups or gatherings, or like you said, maybe folks are trying to struggle alone and get through their hardship that way. It's whatever way you can connect folks to reach out and make sure they air their thoughts. And the brain's a muscle, just like your legs and your lungs. And we're talking about other stuff here. The brain is a very powerful muscle that controls the rest of things. But yeah, that's great that you've decided to make that the mission.
Yeah, it's today on my run, I was thinking about all the things that I've done, running in long distances and running across Manitoba, and a lot of people say that if you keep doing hard stuff, it's going to help you in your life, right? But honestly, when a person is alone and things are dire, and it comes down to, like, one of your loved ones passes away because of tragedy or anything like that. I don't want to say that doing hard stuff is not going to help you, but sometimes we just need a little bit more help in the realm of people who know how to go through grief and pull some extra strength. It doesn't matter how many times you climb a mountain, but when somebody passes away or through tragedy or anything like that, you got to find some other special superpowers to help you get past that, and to help other people in your area. And you're like, yeah. So that's where I'm getting at.
Absolutely.
No matter how much running you do, you're going to need a little bit more. And that's some of these places who know how to help out in that way are here. And I just want to highlight that.
No, that's no, great advice. That's okay. Here's an important question. Outside of what you're thinking about when you're on that, we'll go to there in a sec. But do you listen to music when you're running?
Today yeah, I do listen to a lot of music.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm an '80s hairband guy, and I was listening to Def Leppard today.
Nice.
Yeah, so that heavy metal really helped me out today. But having said that,
Yeah.
I do listen to some other like I don't know what it's called, but a little bit more guitar, more calm music also. So sometimes
That's
when
nice.
yeah, there's a different types of music that I listen to for different reasons.
Yeah, no,
But
that's fair. Different genres, different days, different seasons. I'm sure that it's helpful for a multitude of things.
yeah,
Okay, something that I have done, I still kind of do it on sometimes when I'm cycling, and I mean, I don't listen to music when I swim, obviously. You can, I guess, with different headphones these days. But
yeah.
you ever listen to music on repeat, like one song that you're like cycle in, or is that just a strange thing that I do?
Yeah, actually, I do listen to some music on repeat.
Yeah,
It's just I don't know, it's just some songs that are just like grounds me.
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
lot of I don't do much training runs in terms of like threshold or speed work or things like that. A lot
Okay.
of the running that I do lately has been just grounding. And one of the things that I was saying about my breathing, I was having a problem breathing.
Yeah.
It was a struggle for the last year. So I've been doing nasal breathing lately, which means I just don't breathe through my mouth at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you have to be a little bit more calm about. So that by doing that, it helps me you know, be more calm, and then it brings the anxiety actually closer. But then I feel it, you know, to
Mm.
feel the
Yeah.
anxiousness is really important, because when you get to that point, you know that you need to either slow down or just check yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then but just keep moving forward. So
Yeah.
that's been helping my journey right now. So there's
Interesting.
yeah, I've been well, over the past winter was pretty tough on my lungs, and I don't know, maybe a
Yeah.
lot of smoke and environmental things. So I was doing a lot of running on a treadmill, and so this has been helping me out. I've been running up and down Garden Shoals, my mouth shut, and actually the 40 kilometers today, I did the whole thing with my mouth shut, and it was like 4.5 hours. So
Good for you.
it's
I
good.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that for outdoor stuff, but I know at night I have to wear like a nose strip to help open up the airways. And I notice when I don't wear them now. Have you ever tried using those?
No, I haven't yet. No.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah,
doctor, but they're
yeah,
like it seems like such a relief on there.
yeah.
And sometimes if they're still sticky by morning or whatever, I'll leave them
Mhm.
on for the day and I kind of forget that they're on. But it seems like it's yeah, helped quite a bit. I've heard and I've taken a minute. A couple of people sent me articles on them, the mouth breathing thing. Have you ever taped have you ever taped over your mouth at night for sleeping?
No, I've seen that, but no, I haven't. I haven't been to that
Yeah.
that level yet.
Yeah.
Just trying to, yeah, just nope, haven't done
But
that yet.
I don't know. I did try it. It was kind of tough with a little bit of a beard, but I trimmed it off and I tried it
Oh,
and
okay.
it
Yeah,
just kind of didn't work for like I felt
yeah,
too claustrophobic in it. It was
yeah,
weird for me, but I've heard really good things and it's interesting.
yeah.
You
And
have to
isn't that
see
stuff?
them.
It's called hostage tape. I think that's what the brand is.
Oh, like an
Yeah,
actual tape of this thing. Oh,
it's
I just used
it's you could actually buy a special product
it's
to
called
do
Host.
that.
Yeah.
It's
Huh.
but I haven't ventured to go there yet. But so what I'm
Yeah.
understanding with breathing through your mouth, your nasal passages and is like a natural filtration and humidifier, right? So that you're
Yes.
given this amazing thing there, but people don't utilize it. But so
Yeah.
along with breathing through there, you're using your mind to like to
Yeah.
calm yourself down and to be more mindful of what you're doing. So that's really helping my journey. And
Cool.
yeah, so I haven't shared this yet, but I've been also sharing with my friends that I want to run across Canada in maybe 2 years from now. So my journey has been like, starting off as a 2K runner, and then doing marathons and ultra
Um,
marathons, and running across the province. And then, so yeah,
Yeah,
2 years from now, my wife hasn't said no yet. So, um,
good.
so I got that thumbs up. Yeah. So my idea is to start from the East Coast
Yeah,
and then get to Winnipeg at no time, just basically meandering through the eastern part of Canada and sharing the sites and meeting people, and then hunker down over the winter time, and then go again from Winnipeg to Tofino, and then
nice.
that'll be a great journey. My wife is supposed to be my support, but I'm trying to get all the points in, so she'll be okay with it.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great goal and adventure to have for sure. That would be very neat. And I'm sure that there'll be some raising of funds and awareness along the way too. So a double whammy win there.
Hmm.
Now, how outside of like the running and we just mentioned about like the breathing side of things, what are things that you do to recover? Do you do like very popular right now, like ice baths or saunas and stuff like that? Or what does that part of the routine look like for yourself to share maybe some tips and tricks, or I don't know what you do, but we're gonna find out.
Stephen, honestly, I don't.
Nothing.
It's pretty much sitting in my recliner, and then honestly, I've been luckily that I do have like a compression pants that
Okay.
I slip on, right? Compression
Yeah.
pants, and then I don't have a cold plunge uh, area, but that does help too to get in the cold bath. I've tried that a couple of times, but I'm not
For sure.
religious at it. A lot of massages.
Yeah.
There's like if I have an ache or pain, there's something called rock floss. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's like a big,
Yes.
huge rubber band. It's about this thick, and then if you have like a knee injury or anything like that, or some place that requires some attention, what you do is there's instructions. You wrap. It's like 8 feet long. This big rubber band, and then you
Okay.
wrap it. Say for example, like 5 weeks ago, I rolled my ankle. And it was a bad injury, and I was able to use that. So you take it and you wrap it around your foot, starting from the furthest away from your heart, and wrap it really really tight. And there's instructions on how to do this. So then you do some exercise, and what that does is it flushes away. Apparently, it flushes away the blood that's in there, and then you do that for like a couple minutes, like some exercises to
Yeah.
get
It's
the
good.
joint going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you take that rock floss off, and then all the clean, blood gets in there to nourish the injured area. So
Huh.
I was doing that for a little bit. It was very helpful.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said, I rolled my ankle, and it really sucked when
Yeah.
that happens if you're a runner. But 5 weeks later, I ran 40 kilometers today, so I'm really happy about that because I need to
Right.
be doing that 48-hour event, and I think in a week and a half from now. So, yeah, so compression pants, maybe the rock floss, yeah,
Yeah. No,
massages, um, yeah, all the above. It doesn't hurt to try out all these things.
yeah.
Yeah, I have
No.
one of these little machines. It's called a stimulator. So
Okay.
it's like an electrical current. You could set it. It has these little pads that
Oh yeah.
sends electrical currents to
Yeah.
the area that needs stimulating, and then that helps also. So it's great to watch Netflix and put those compression pads on, and then get that recovery along with that. But yeah, but before that, it's good to strengthen up your body, and not just run, but do like CrossFit, or do some other training to make sure all your muscles work in together to do the job.
Absolutely. Actually, that was going to be my follow up to that. What other sports or other activities are you doing outside of running?
Yeah, so I just for the past year, I started going to a CrossFit gym.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's great because it's just a few blocks from my house. It's 7 minute walk. Try and get there at 6 in the morning, and then get a run in after. Yeah, and I feel that just moving my body in certain ways to strengthen up the muscles and joints is really helping me recover faster and not get injured as much.
Right.
I have some friends of mine who are my age or a little bit older. They're all, when you're 54, it's I, when I was like 20, I didn't really think about it when I was I'm gonna be when I was 54. But honestly, all those
Yes.
things that people tell you, yeah, it's true. Your body does slow down, and it gets harder to recover. And it's a little bit harder to keep the pace and all that stuff. So you have to do these extra things to keep moving forward. Yeah, it's
Right.
very important.
Awesome. I mean, just covering off the mid 30s here, and I feel like a lot of that stuff is relatable. You're starting to see like, this doesn't work
Yeah,
quite the same as early 20s. Muscle recovery, different things like that, where you're like, okay, I need a little extra time. I know I try out, saunas a little bit more. That seems to be very helpful for,
yeah,
getting out, and seems to be recommended in different capacities. So that's
yeah,
something that but that's great to hear that you're doing different things, and I guess multi-sport training, or training the whole
yeah.
body on the mental side of things is a great strategy that you're using. Do you find you do more of that come winter time, uh, given snow and stuff here in our climate?
Well, this is the first year, so I'm hoping to do more of that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
hoping to utilize my membership because
yeah.
to,
You're paid for it.
you know.
Yeah,
Um, an interesting thing also, my wife, she works for the YMCA. She's been working there for over 30 years, and yeah, it's a great facility and all that, but it's just a little bit further away from me.
right.
So, but yeah, as soon as I'm able to do the workouts correct, like
Yeah,
I'm not a lifter or anything like that, but I wanted to make sure everything that I'm doing is correct so I don't hurt myself. Because a lot of times when I went to the YMCA, I would just like bang out all these weights and I'd be broken for 3 days, type of
right.
thing. Um, yeah, so like going forward, also I want to do my my wife's been working for the YMCA for over 30 years, and I'd love to support their organization as well. So look for something that I'll be helping them out with in maybe 1 or 2 years also.
Cool.
Yeah, there's so the store where I work, City Park Runners, the
Yeah.
owner, his name is Jonathan Torquia, and him and I, years back, we ran 100 miles on separate treadmills in 24 hours, and we raised money for the lung cancer, I think. Yeah, and that was called Run Your Lungs Out. And then the year after, there
Yeah.
was another. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
you're familiar with that. Run Your Lungs Out.
Well, no, it just sounds very funny. For 100 miles, I would say, yeah, you totally did run your lungs out for that one. So it's very punny to my brain at
Yeah,
least. So yeah,
yeah. Well, it's yeah. It's to support the lung cancer. And the year after we did the first one, we were able to raise like $115,000. And the event is and will be in the center of Polo Park. So years back before COVID,
yeah,
yeah, Jonathan organized an amazing event. There was 8 treadmills.
yeah,
So people uh, raised some money to get on to run on the treadmill like a half an hour each. It was I think 24 hours and some other things alongside. There was spin classes and other things that help support. So Polo Park, if you're familiar with, there's a center court there,
yes,
and the only people that have this center court is Santa Claus and Run Your Lungs Out. So it's
very awesome.
next
Yeah,
April. Next April, look for that. It's going to be a phenomenal event once again.
cool.
Um, I'm not sure what the capacity is, what I'll be doing, but last time that we did that, I ran 100 kilometers on a treadmill in 11 hours, and then I helped out with Winnipeg Running Club. We ran an extra 10 kilometers outside. Um,
Nice.
yeah, it's an exciting event. It's a great community builder.
Fantastic. And you know what? Now that you mentioned it, I definitely have seen this event, or at least seen it a post. I have not participated. I will have to look to do this spring now, because we spoke about it on here. So I think um, that's awesome from here. what's the best way to follow your story outside of some of the things that you mentioned here, Junel? But how can folks follow you on social medias, or be kind of involved in following you and what you're doing coming up? What's the best way to find you online?
Sure. Yeah, there's jmalapad on Instagram and
Okay.
Junel Malapad on Facebook. And I work at City Park Runners a few times a week.
Cool.
Usually I'm there on Thursdays because I help lead the group run.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, find me there. And also I have another group run that I lead. It's called Bridge Forks Running. It's at the Forks on Tuesdays. Sorry, yeah, City Park Runners run is Thursdays. You run 5 or 8 kilometers, and Bridge Forks is Tuesdays, and that's we run 5 or 7 kilometers. Um, and Winnipeg Run Club is a great run group too. I was a big part of that for a long time. So that's on Saturdays. They meet at the Forks to run 5 or 10 kilometers. Um, yeah, so it's fall now, and the weather is changing, and it's getting darker. And
Yeah.
to keep motivated over these dark times, it's great to get involved with some run groups. You even have a run group. It's called Run Before Winnipeg Run Club. So on Saturday mornings, sometimes there's people there at 4, 5, 6 a.m. to get in their long runs. People are always training for marathons and things like that. So Chicago Marathon is coming up in October, and people are doing their longer runs, like 30 kilometers, upwards of 30 kilometers. So it's a great way to stay motivated, run safe, and yeah, just feed off the energy of each other and keep moving forward in a safe way.
That is fantastic. Thank you for dropping those tips in here, and it's been awesome to have you on the show today. So I
Great.
can't thank you enough
Thank
for
you.
making. And I look forward to following up on these events you have coming up. And thanks for dropping those hot tips on what's coming up in 2025 for you and your adventures.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me the platform to share this and to be amongst some amazing guests that you've had in the past. Like one of the ones is Dilip Shekhawat, who's just amazing
Yes.
person that I've met way back when, and he's just been doing some crazy, amazing things going forward and helping the community
Yeah.
and doing some wonderful things. Something else I wanted to share. Oh yeah, sometimes for the first Sunday of each month, I've been chatting on CJOB, of course, about running. So if anybody's up at 6 a.m., you could find me chatting with Kevin Bergen on CJOB at 6 a.m.
Awesome. No, I think that's wonderful. And yeah, thanks again for being on here. And we'll chat more soon.
Great, I really appreciate it. Hey, and also I'll just see one more thing.
Yeah.
There's a saying that I use when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's not feeling right, but if you say this to yourself, today is a good day to have a good day, you're going to put yourself in a trajectory to have a good day. So do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janelle.
You're welcome. Thank you.